talk about. I recently read in Proverbs 12:8, as I've told you before. I try to do Proverbs every day. There's 31 books in Proverbs, and happens to be most months have 31 days, so it works out. Even months that don't have 30, I just don't read the last one, but kind of go through that. And recently I stumbled across Proverbs 12:9. It says, "Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be somebody and have no food." And I was thinking of it from a business standpoint, and I think a lot of times people assume in business, or people portray themselves, at least in business, as, I'm a businessman, I'm a businesswoman, I have all this. They might have a fancy car, they might have a nicer house, but their business isn't doing well. Some of them are shut down for a very long time, but some of them are only shut down 2 or 3 months.
A lot of them shut down for good.
And they ended up shutting down for good. But to me, that's a testament of they didn't have solid. I'm not saying everybody. Some of them might have been a brand new startup. I'm not trying to throw shade on everybody. But to me, it's a testament of maybe their business wasn't strong. And people might have perceived their business as being strong, just based on the perception they put out. And so that's kind of where that Proverbs kind of struck me from that standpoint of, be it intentionally or unintentionally, the perception that business people put out to the public, put out to their friends, their families, their coworkers, their employees, that this is a good business and we're here. And that's not always the case. And the more I dive into stuff, and the more I get to know business owners, the more I have conversations like this, the more I realize that, like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna make payroll this month, or stuff like that. And people that have W-2s look at the job as secure, go on the other side of that. And that's not always the case either. Like, your job is possibly 2-3 bad months from being gone.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a guy yesterday. He was looking to buy a business, and I asked him about it. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he said he walked away from the deal. He said he broke down the numbers, and on a good month, and this is before debt service, they were making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and that was a good month. After paying the employees, paying the mortgage, not the mortgage, but the rent, and all that stuff. The owner was only making $1,000, $2,000, and that was before, like I said before, if he'd have bought it before paying debt service. So he's like, there was no business there for him to buy, really. And these employees probably don't know that. They think their business is doing good, but what happens if that owner, instead of making $1,000, loses $1,000? And that happens for 2 or 3 months in a row. Where are they at? How long can they self-fund it? And why would a business owner self-fund a business that's been losing money? He said he had looked at the last three years of financials and been like that for 3 years. So anyhow, I stumbled across that, or I didn't stumble across it, but I read that, and I always try to look at things from a different lens each time. That's kind of the lens that struck me on. So I figured we'd bring it up and be a good thing to talk about. So.
Yeah, and I think, I have a few opinions on it. But one that's important is, I think, the conviction that we talked about at the start of this chapter of Proverbs, right? And people don't like hearing that they're imperfect. But when you told me, even just hearing that you read, one chapter of Proverbs every day, like, I felt conviction. Like, I need to have that kind of routine.